Good evening, all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis, and with me tonight I have my co-host, Stu Wally. Tonight we're going to cover the match reaction. Man United lost against Aston Villa at Villa Park 2-1. Goal from Mateus Cunha and 2 goals from Morgan Rogers ended it with United losing the game. Much to go into from the tactical point of view. I have live footage from the game. We will bring up the tactical board. We will talk about the Bruno injury, Martinez as the DM. We had some academy players coming on the pitch, Jack Fletcher and Shea Lacey, and we will look behind the result and we will try to focus on the performance. Man United, we have many injuries. People are at AFCON. We are down to the bare bone. So there will be a lot to cover with Stu and me. And guys, get your comments in, smash the like and subscribe if this is your first time on the Tactical Devils. And Stu and I will be back shortly after the intro. So see you in a second. Yes, boom, 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 guys. We are live with the match reaction. Yet another loss. Man United did lose against Aston Villa at Villa Park. Not happy about the result, but tonight I will be a little bit more positive than I usually am after a loss because I will look behind the result and I will actually focus on the performance because there have been a lot of things I've been talking about that has been missing in this Man United team. And tonight we saw at least a little bit of control with how we played the game. Unfortunately, Bruno got injured. You know, I saw right away what we were trying to do. We went out in a 5-3-2 formation, and I think Ugarte was a little bit left alone, and Villa were just waiting for the transition. But I think we played well. I think we controlled the game. We created enough chances to win the game, and I think we had the momentum of the game for most of the game. Unfortunately, Villa is a team that have won now 10 in a row, but they have margins on their side, and they scored with the informed player of the Premier League at the moment, Morgan Rogers. So, guys, get your comments in, and I will let Stu tell us about his reaction on the game.
Evening all, evening my old mates, evening everybody. Once again, you won't be surprised to know that I'm quite happy. I felt that we demonstrated way more than we've seen in the last 2 years or under the duration of Amorim, which is a year and a half, 18 months, something along those lines. So whatever he is doing, whatever he is trying, it's certainly resonating with the players, and the players have gone out there and they have tried to win that game of football today. And that's all we can ask for as fans. Any player that go in and doesn't want to try and win a game of football, we don't want at the club. So from that point of view, I was happy. A couple of glaring errors, which I'm sure we'll go into with Mr. Yoro. But we've only lost that game by 2 brilliant strikes from Morgan Rogers. We had plenty of chances. Sesko's one-on-one, he should have done way better with that. We could have got a crossing a little bit more accurate. We possibly could have come away 4-1, 4-2 winners today, but it wasn't to be. But we've gone to Villa Park at their own turf, the informed team in the Premier League, and we've come very close to getting a result. So look, I don't think we could be upset. I don't think we'd be disappointed. Amorim is trying stuff. We've been crying out for it. I said last week, we've been crying out for Amorim to try new stuff. He is doing it. Cunha, as Yolam Amin says, is starting to really gel now with this team. But we got problems. We got big issues with injuries. We're going to have to go into the market in January. There's no 2 ways about it. If Bruno's got a hamstring injury, that's 6 to 8 weeks. If he's got just a slight strain, it could be 3 weeks. But at his age, you don't want to risk it.
I think it's the same injury we saw 3 to 4 weeks ago when he was holding the back of his thigh.
Yeah.
He's been building on this, and now he finally had enough. He can't take it anymore. And I think this is up to the medical team and the manager playing him over and over again, and maybe Bruno saying he's ready when he's not. I think it's you could clearly see the signs, and it was inevitable. Him going off injured now after a tough period. We have been playing 4 games in 2 weeks, and this is the end result. I hate to say I told you so, but I think this is the result of the squad and our inability to sign a midfielder in the summer.
Yeah, no, well, we're going to have to do it in January now, whether we like it or not. So they're going to have to go in. They're going to have to spend some money. They're either going to go in and probably, I would imagine, get Neves. About 20 million. It's a nice, easy deal to do. So I'd imagine they'll probably do that. Having said that, I've been saying for years, Martinez could come and do a job in the middle of the park. He came at a very, very difficult time.
Yeah.
And did a job in the middle of the park. But when you're playing with somebody like Ugarte, who's really not quite with it, he just can't seem to put it together, it's always going to be a problem. So look, all in all, I'm not too upset at all. I thought we did very well today, better in patches than the whole game, the whole 90 minutes.
Yep.
But you know what? It is what it is. I can't be too disappointed. No, I really can't. I'm not fuming. I'm not upset. I'm not angry. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Yeah, I sit with the feeling after the game that we deserved better, and actually, when you look at the stats from the game, let me bring up the stats for you to guys to see, and we will look at it. If you see here, this is the momentum of the game, and Man United in red and Villa in purple, I believe, and if you look at it, you clearly see there's more red than purple, and I actually think we control the ball, but we didn't gain enough momentum. But I think we control the game pretty well. And you see us, we should be feeling robbed. Villa going up 1-0 at the end of first half, and they had a little bit momentum going out in the second half, but that's nothing new. We always sleep in the first 10 minutes of second halves. But then again, I think we took control of the game, but we didn't produce enough, and it is what it is. And as I feel now, we are down to the bare bone now. We played 2 academy players at the end of the game, Jack Fletcher and Shea Lacey. Bruno going off injured, Mainu apparently injured. Our centre halves, Delict, Maguire is injured, and we have all the 3 players away on AFCON, and we know already our squad is struggling as it is, and now we are in for a big struggle. We have Newcastle coming on Boxing Day, and I'm not sure how to compose this team. But I saw some positive signs. Martinez in the number 6, I think that was positive. Ugarte wasn't horrible. I think the first 15 minutes he struggled a little bit, but after a while he came into the game and found his rhythm. When it comes to the defense, I think this is where we're lacking. I don't like to see the constellation between Heaven and Yoro. I think they both too insecure, and none of them are really taking charge. Although Heaven had a good game today, but them as a pairing, I think they easily get bullied a little bit, and especially Lenny Yoro, I think is too weak. When Morton Rogers got the ball, on the corner flag zone. Was it zone 16 before the first goal? Lenny Yoro should never have let him in. Just pull him down, make a free kick. I don't care. It's no better than a corner kick. So do something, but don't let him come inside. That was the first thing he could have done. Let him come inside. And actually, I don't think Lenny Yoro know how to play a fullback. And when you have to defend the wide areas, he's helpless, and we've seen it over and over again. What's your thoughts on Lenny Yoro?
He was poor today. Look, Morgan Rogers should have been in row Z. That's it, period. That's exactly where he should have been. He should be over the crash barriers, into the crowd, the end. Yoro, yeah, take a booking ref. Thank you very much. That's it, the end. That's all you do there. I'm listening to Merson say, he's got to show him down the line. He's got to do it. No, bang, get out. Yeah. Row Z. He picked the ball up. He was outside the pitch at that particular time, because of the pass, he let the pass squirm under his foot. As soon as that happens, that's your moment. Bang! You strike like a fucking snake when you're in that position, and bang! Yeah. He should have been absolutely smashed into the barriers. The end. Take your booking, Yoro, and carry on. That's how you do it. So next time Yoro and Rogers are in the same moment, Rogers isn't going to be so cocky. He's going to think twice, because Yoro's just going to gonna have him again, or he's gonna hand him over to Heaven and say, Heaven, your turn this time. You smash him. Somebody smash him. Somebody smash him. Somebody smash him. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult. It's not hard. You know, it is what it is. What I liked about us, look, we're unbalanced at the back completely.
Yeah.
You know, we've got 2 left footers in there. We've got Heaven and we've got Luke Shaw, both left footers. Martinez goes back in after a stint in midfield, another left footer. We've got too many left footers on that fucking pitch. Wait all the time, too many left footers. Everybody likes a left footer, they're nice and balanced, but you've got to have a mix. You've got to have a real mix. Likes a Maguire, likes a Delict, needs to get the fucking ass into gear and get back. They need to stop dicking about. It can't be that fucking bad. Get back and get playing, because that's all we've got for defence. Whether we like it or not, that is it. That's your loss. We've got no one else to really call upon. That, you know, that's it. We could get young Fredrickson in, but again, what's the difference between Fredrickson, Yoro, and Heaven? Nothing. He's not a young lad. He's just a young lad. So we've got a lot of things we've got to do. We've got a big January coming up. We've got real issues. But I thought we played well. As it happens.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you.
As it happens, I didn't think we were too bad attacking wise. Abumo, obviously, and Ahmed would have made a huge difference. Absolutely. You know, a big difference. But I didn't think we were that bad. We attacked in waves. Thought Dorgo was pretty good today. I'm not going to eat his lunch.
I agree.
Zalo confused me again. I thought at parts he played very well. At parts he was fucking woeful. You know, it's just a real fucking issue with our inconsistency at critical times during the game, and that's the main issue. Rushmano is right. You know, Cunha missed that header. Should have scored. I think
that's a big one. You know, that's almost like a penalty. You know,
he
didn't even hit the target.
Yeah, I thought Sesko should have scored his one-on-one. You score those 2 goals. We're on 3 goals today. The game is a different game, completely different game. But everybody needs to realise and needs to understand. People are talking about, you know, hammering this and hammering that, but it's, you know, finally ex-players are coming to light and saying, even under Sir Alex, when we cross that white line, there's nothing they could do. There's nothing Sir Alex could do. There's nothing Brian Kidd could do. There's nothing anyone could do.
I don't want to finish your point, but I know you want to finish your point. But, you know, when it comes to things that we could have been done in the first half, especially, I think it was the transition and our rest defense. I've been talking endlessly about this, and today, you know, we played with 3 centre backs and we played with Ugarte in the single 6. And you know, letting Ugarte be the playmaker is risky business. And I think Aston Villa just let us have the ball and we're waiting for the strike and to counter and transition on us every time. And you could see it a couple of times, especially in the beginning of the game when Ugarte was shaky, that Aston Villa tried the transition and you know, they had a couple of big chances. By the way, Barman comes in and says stats job is 2 shots they scored and we huffed and puffed, some good XG, but no finishing. And yeah, I think you're right. When you look at the stats, we have 57% possession, 1.31 XG, and Aston Villa had 2. And they had 3 big chances, 12 shots. We had 3 big chances, 15 shots. So it was quite an even game. A draw would probably be the most fair result, but you know, this is what you get. Man United, we struggled to get the game over the line, and same with Villa now. They are just flying and winning every game. You know, it doesn't matter. So you know, this is what I call the momentum of football. I've been talking a little bit about it, and I feel now Aston Villa, you know, they're flying. I think they are overperforming, and you know, I'm not so impressed by this Aston Villa team. And I just want to bring up the tactical board 2 seconds and just explain to you what I saw. So in the first half, I think Villa, as I predicted, they play like almost a 4-2-2 with the Rodgers out on the left side, and Tielemans, McGinn, Kamara, Onana, you know, playing with that midfield box, as I talked about. But you know, they didn't control the central area particularly well. I think Sesko locked himself on Lindelof, and Cunha helped with the midfield with Mount and Bruno. So you know, I think we were quite good, and even Ugarte pushed up quite high sometimes. But again, I think our wing backs, they were high and wide. They were providing the width when us going into attack and we're in possession. And but by then, I felt Ugarte was a little bit alone sometimes, and every time we lost the ball, and Ugarte was quite close to Bruno. I think a little bit too close. Than was, for example, if Bruno was out on the left hand side, Ugarte followed, and it left a big gap again. And we struggled a little bit with our centre backs. The only centre back who was really aggressive at times was Luke Shaw, but Luke Shaw had a really poor game. And if you look at the goal, you see McGinn receiving the ball. Luke Shaw actually just is weak in this position. He just let him turn and play the ball over to Rodgers or Tielemans. I don't know who gets the ball. So we can look at that goal and you guys can have your say, because if you look at this situation here, we lose the ball. Aston Villa has it, and McGinn receives it. In this instance, you see Luke Shaw is pushing up, but it's not aggressive enough. It's not close enough. He gives McGinn that yard of extra space to turn, and I don't know why. He comes in, he comes aggressive, but again, it's too passive. It's too weak in a situation like this. So again, I expect more from Luke Shaw. He's one of the senior players. He has experience. And in situations like this, I've been giving Luke Shaw credit for being aggressive. But again, now, if you are passive and you are the man who are supposed to help out Ugarte in that central position, it's not good enough. So if you look at this, what really went on, McGinn gets a lot of time and he just pushes him away and gives the ball to Rodgers. And I think it's way too easy. Just put out his arms and take Luke Shaw away. I know McGinn is a strong man, but Luke Shaw needs to do better in a situation like this. I think that's really poor, weak defending. I don't know what's your thoughts about this one, Stu.
It's an interesting one, really, because Luke Shaw's position was okay, believe it or not, because he came to the right side of McGinn. Rather than straight behind him or to the left side. So he made an attempt to stop him, but then he was easily brushed aside by McGinn. And then, when you're running across the pitch 2 or 3 yards, McGinn's always on his left foot. So from that perspective, it didn't matter. McGinn was fine. He was happy. He was comfortable. I'm on my left foot, bang, and I put the ball across. The cross actually to Rodgers wasn't that great, or Rodgers just took his eye off the ball. I'm not quite sure. What he did, but you've got to look at what Yoro's doing. Yoro's not looking and acknowledging where Rodgers is and his peripheral. He's looking at what's happening towards the ball, so he's ball watching effectively. So he's not looking at the space in behind him. So good old Yoro is looking that way towards McGinn. Once the ball's fired across, if you keep playing it now, once the ball's fired into Rodgers, he must take his eye off the ball because it kind of gets away from him.
Yeah. It pushes close up, so I can't show the next segment. But there's a sky view on this, and you see Luke Shaw is pushing on McGinn, and when you see the ball goes from McGinn over to Rodgers, as you see, it's no offside, but Lenny Yoro gives him way too much space.
Way too much room. So now he's chasing him, but that's still okay. You can kind of still live with that because Rodgers is still going to be forced supposedly wide. So when you play that again, when Rodgers makes the mistake, or the ball, I can't quite remember if it goes under his foot. So, he doesn't quite control it there.
Yeah.
The problem is Yoro thinks, and it isn't right, by the way. He thinks Rodgers has lost it and it's gone out for a throw in, but it hasn't. Yeah. That's why he's jogging. If we carried on with real pace, it would have caught Rodgers on the byline, and that's when he hit him. Even there, though, he's in an okay position. Yoro is, but he's not tight enough. So he's allowing Rodgers to come in instead of getting his body across him and using his arm, using his full length of his arm to stop Rodgers. And you're not body checking him or anything like that. What you're doing is preventing him from getting across you easily. So you're stopping him, and that gives you enough room, or should give you enough room, to run, to try and either outmuscle him or prevent the inevitable, which Rodgers gets across and puts a bit of a worldie in the.
But we're not bad position. We are 6 against 5, so we are in balance when it comes to this. But again, you see Lenny Yoro going out in the wide areas, and I think it's something wrong with his body shape. I would expect him to be a little bit lower, and leaning one way or another, forcing Rodgers to do something. And when knowing that Rodgers is wants to cut inside and take the shot, let him cross on his weak foot. That's just my thoughts.
No, your observation is 100%, because if you look at the body shape of Rodgers already, Rodgers is looking to come back on his right peg. You can't really see it yet, but you can, if you know what I mean. You're absolutely right about, you can just about see he's making that turn, isn't he, or on the way. You're right about Yoro. If Yoro had stayed kind of in that trajectory and moved himself across slightly to the left, he's then forcing Rodgers. I've got nowhere to go now. I've got to go to the byline. And Yoro should, with his legs, if he just goes kind of like to his left there, because he goes across, Rodgers knows what he's doing, because Rodgers is watching his running momentum and his trajectory. So he turns inside. And here's where you're right about position. He's fucked, because he's kind of leaning right. All his body weight is on the right, so he can't get back in time. And Rodgers knows this. So,
but as a centre back, in for example, in NHL hockey, if you play like a back, you play as a defender. Doesn't matter if they get the puck behind you. You just body check them. And I think in a situation like this, Lenny Yoro needs to be aware. If you let him go inside, that's the ultimate sin. That's not how you do it. And you have to put your body on the line. Worst case scenario, take a yellow card, make it a free kick, but you never let him cut inside. That's schoolboy defending for me, and Lenny Yoro needs to learn this, and we've seen it now over and over again too many times when it comes to Lenny Yoro. He is so shaken, his confidence is totally gone. He's not controlling the attacker. He lets the attacker control him, and I think this is where the problem lies. And for me, I set up my starting 11, and Lenny Yoro was on the bench. I would rather play Martinez on the right centre back than Lenny Yoro, because I don't trust Lenny Yoro anymore. I think he needs to be taken out of the game and to gain his confidence back again. We can't let him go on. He's a young guy. He's 19. Is he 20 years of age? He's still 19.
I think he's still 19, something like that.
Yeah. But you don't let your teenagers out to dry. It's not the way you do it. You have to protect them, and I think Lenny Yoro is at a stage right now where he needs protection, because we know this fan base, they will be on Lenny Yoro's back. I'm not. I know he will make mistakes. Mark mentioned it last show on the match reaction. Let them make mistakes. If they learn, that's how you learn. But it doesn't seem like he's learning. He's not learning quick enough.
No, he's not learning at the minute. But look, other than that, you can't take away the strike. Strike was fantastic.
Yeah, that's
keeper had no chance. We had no chance.
Really good strike. But again, I'm not happy. I feel we could have done better. But again, Rodgers, he flies at the moment. He has all the confidence in the world. There's nothing that can stop him now. And it almost feels like when Rashford had this purple patch last time. Was it right after the World Cup or before the World Cup?
I think it was after, wasn't it? After the World Cup.
Yeah. It feels like it right now. He's just walking on water.
Man is Mr. Rodgers at the World Cup. If he carries on, he's going to be the man.
Yeah.
He's excellent. Villa were poor today. But the thing is, it's all about taking your chances in football. And we have more chances. We didn't do it. So we didn't take our chances. And they did. They had two strikes, 2 goals, bang. There's nothing you can do about it. It's football.
No. That's the thing. That's the thing. Unfortunately. So, what are the chats saying about Lenny Yoro? I see Trevor comes in and say Yoro hasn't improved under
No.
Amorim. He regressed, in fact, and I think you spot on, Trevor. I think that's right. Um, and let's say Barman comes in and say Yoro made the same three mistakes starting Mateta penalty in Crystal Palace game. Yeah, and this is what worries me a little bit, especially when he has to defend the wide areas. I think this is not Yoro's strongest point, and I think he needs guidance on the pitch. And it worries me when he plays with Heaven because I don't think he get any guidance. Where to stand, when to push, when to back off, and where to lead this man right or left. I think you when you're a young centre back, you played centre back yourself your whole life. You know how you depend on people commanding you when you are in certain situation because everything goes so fast that you don't have the time to know everything that's behind your back, and you need that extra little bit of help. And when you have no experience as a player like Euro, you are Bambi on ice. You are on your own, and I don't want to see this on with young players.
You are and you're not, unfortunately. And the biggest issue is, for me, is common sense again in football. Common sense is the biggest thing in football. It's your brain. Your brain tells your feet what to do, and that's it. Everything is done with football is really thought driven.
Mm.
And Yoro at this point in time isn't thinking. He's not making informed choices and correct decisions in his positional play, in his passing, when to head, when not to head, where to stand, where to run to, when to jog, when not to jog, and all this kind of stuff. He's not making these decisions. Now, I was on a show a few years ago, and I was talking about Max Kilman at the time, and I was talking about Connor Cody. And Connor Cody would coach Max Kilman during the game, would make Max Kilman decisions for him during the game. And we don't have that. We haven't got Harry Maguire on there making those decisions for Yoro, for Heaven, for Luke Shaw. We don't have a De Ligt making those decisions for these defenders. So they're out there having to think for themselves. But you're dealing with a 19-year-old who can't think for himself. And that's always dangerous. And it does actually, it matters no point where you are on the pitch. If you can't think for yourself as a footballer, you're never going to progress. You're never going to grow. And develop because you're stopping yourself growing and developing, and that's the biggest issue because you're not thinking. And as soon as you stop thinking in life, in anything you do in life, you become a vegetable. Yoro's career at this point in time is likely to falter more than really go in terms of growing. And we're talking about real growth here, and he's got the potential, or had the potential, to be a really solid player, but he's coming into Manchester United again at the wrong time, like all these young players are, because we don't have a stalwart. We don't have a Robson, we don't have a Keane, we don't have a Bruce, a Schmeichel. We don't have any one of those players that can say, right, this is what I need from you, this is what I need you to do. We've just got Bruno throwing his arms in the air. We've got Casemiro can't speak that English that well or whatever. We've got real problems when it comes to it. Somebody says here, serious soccer fan says, can't Leach has got to look after himself at the moment. He's got to stay injury free. He's got to concentrate on getting his fitness back. He's got to concentrate on cementing his place in the team. It's just a real problem for us at the moment. And I really feel, actually, because, that's 2 defeats and 11 or something along those lines. And we've just got to keep going and going and going and going and going. And we have to keep going. We can't keep having a go at everything and everyone, because nothing's going to change. Nothing in football changes like that. City approaching the same problem that we've had, and that is when Guardiola leaves, who's going to come in? Is Maresca going to be the magician? Is X going to be the magician? Y going to be the magician? City could well be in the same issue Liverpool are banging on about Arne Slot at the moment. He won the fucking league last year, but he's not good enough. It's a real fucking problem. Football is not, it is, a lot of it is down to common sense, but we just, at this point in time, we're blaming everybody and everything.
Yeah, I think you're on to something, but I feel at least this community, we are not out to give the blame on anyone. I think we are trying to analyze the game, how we see it, and speak the truth. And I think this is what we are doing, and not scapegoating anyone. But I can see the problems Lenny Yoro is facing, and as I said, I think he needs some rest. But this is the problem right now. We have Licha, we have Maguire injured, and I think it puts us in a very difficult situation. At least if one of them had been free, I think they would have started right away. And bear in mind, I think De Ligt has probably been the best player of Man United so far this season.
So far, yeah, I'd agree.
And even a player like Masraoui, if he's been available, he would definitely have played today and not Lenny Yoro. So again, I think Amorim is faced with a quite of a dilemma. What to do with the back four, and I'm 100% sure he knows about this. Our worries when it comes to these young players, and you have to play Licha. You can't start him. That's way too soon. He needs more time. He's been out for more than half of a season, and he needs more time to get back into match fitness. Tom Porter comes in and say, please subscribe if you are new. Yes, guys, if this is your first time on the Tactical Devils, do us a favor and subscribe to the channel. Lots of comments coming in. Sorry if I can't get all of them. We will go into the comments a little bit later. I can do this question from Serious Soccer Fan. Bart says, why don't you credit Amorim for De Ligt's growth at the club? Well, I'm doing it. I'm saying De Ligt has probably been the best player of the club so far. And there were some rumors that the structure, the leadership of the club didn't want De Ligt, but Ten Hag used his veto to get De Ligt and time. People were saying he was Maguire number 2, but I think it's been quite a good signing. But again, I feel a player like Luke Shaw, I'm not letting Luke Shaw off the hook tonight, because I think he's one of the experienced players. He has so many options, so many opportunities during this game to try risky passes, to play through the first line of press. Aston Villa weren't pressing; they were just waiting for triggers, us to just play the ball to Ugarte and or someone turning the wrong way, receiving the ball, and then they were ready to strike. But again, we didn't have the courage, and especially Luke Shaw, on the ball. I expect more. I expect so much more from Luke Shaw. He's one of the senior players, and I know he has it in his locker. He can do that. He can find that pass. But again, I think he turns off every third game, and I don't like it when I see a player like Luke Shaw. I don't know, Stu. Do you think Luke Shaw had a good game today?
Not really. The defense didn't have a great game. The problem is we've got what we've got, and that's our issue. So Luke Shaw, for him, doesn't have to have a great game every time, because we've got to play him. We've got no choice at this time. There isn't anybody else that we can play. You're right about Licha. You can't really start Licha because he picks up another injury and that's it. He's done. His career's gone, finished. But he's got to play. We've just got major problems in terms of being able. Amorim fixed the front three, so to speak. That's what he went out and spent his money on the front three. Now he's going to have to spend his money on defence and midfield. And we don't have that money. We just don't. Bruno's worth 60, 65 million quid. Maybe we take that. I don't know. But he just isn't going to do that. Our issue is going to be, will always be, what do we do if we make changes yet again? If we continue to make changes, where do we go? We wanted rid of Ten Hag. We wanted rid of Mourinho. We wanted rid of Van Gaal. I didn't want, people wanted rid of Ollie. Moyes, etc. But we haven't gone anywhere. The penny needs to drop somewhere. That we're not going anywhere. We're making these changes, and nothing is changing. We're not going anywhere. We haven't been anywhere. We won the odd trophy, but we're not going anywhere with it. So, okay, let's make a change. Well, what are we going to be moaning about it in 2 years' time again? We've got to draw a line somewhere. I'm not saying we draw a line and backhammering or whatever, but you've got to draw a line somewhere, because we're just going to keep going and going and going and going and going. And every 3 years we're changing manager. Can't keep doing it, guys.
France comes in and says to you, we don't have a striker. Sesko and Xerxes are dinosaurs.
Well, we don't have an out-and-out finisher. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no two ways about it. I never thought Sesko was a... Jarvis will tell you, France, I didn't want Sesko anyway. I didn't want Gyökeres. I thought Osimhen would have been our best option, because I think he's an out-and-out striker. He's a finisher. There were better options out there. We chose not to. So I don't know.
Boxing is not agreeing with you. We say let's draw a line and then go with the manager.
It's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is change Amorim then, but don't have the same conversation in 2 years if it doesn't go the way we like. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Or have the same conversation again. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying we draw a line with Amorim. I'm saying we've got to draw a line somewhere. I don't want to keep changing manager. Where's it got us? It's got us nowhere. That's where I'm at.
I'm a little bit more curious when it comes to Amorim, because for me, I think he I thought he was more stubborn, but now I see a little bit more flexibility in how he sets up his teams. Every time I have a worry, it just takes one game or two, and Amorim starts changing it up. I don't know. Maybe he was watching the Tactical Devils. When I talk about the transition defense, when I talk about controlling games, when I talk about the open gap, when I talk about the center backs pushing up, when I talk about all of these small details. I think we are gradually improving in the way I'm seeing football. Maybe not quick enough. I can't get fully behind this Amorim rebuild, but it's not only on Amorim, it's on Ineos, and I think they have chosen a path that's very difficult. They could have chosen an easier path, going into this, and chosen a manager who would fit this the current squad we had. But now we are at the place where we need actually to sign maybe 7 to 8 more players for this to start clicking. But it is what it is.
But the problem is we've been there before.
Yes,
3 years ago.
That's the problem. Yeah,
we needed 8 players 3 years ago. We needed 8 players the first 3 years ago. Like I say, I'm not saying Amorim's the answer. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if we change it again, where are we in 2 years' time? I'm not saying this is good enough either, because I'm not. I'm just saying somewhere along the line we have to draw the line. A lot of the fans wanted Ten Hag gone. They did. Some fans didn't want Ten Hag gone. But a lot of fans did. Same with Mourinho. Saying, we wanted these managers gone. Where do we go? Where do we go? What do we do? And if it is, who all of a sudden do we get? Do we go and get Iraola? Does he want to come? Would he want to come? Or do we go and get Glasner? What if we get Glasner and Glasner can't do what we want him to do? So we're having the same discussion again. That's all I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with anybody. What I'm saying is, if the players aren't doing what the manager wants, or the players can't think for themselves on the pitch, we're never going to change. We're just never going to change as a club. So I just don't know what where the answers are.
But I appreciate the engagement, guys, and I appreciate all the comments, and every opinion is welcomed here on the Tactical Devils. As long as it half sensible, and not not too aggressive. But the thing I talked about the game. I talked a little bit about Ugarte in the beginning, so I have a couple of clips just to show what I mean when it comes to this. And let me just bring this up first, and we can have a look, because I talked a little bit about the distance between Bruno and Ugarte. This is from the first. I don't know. It's in the beginning of the game. And you see us chasing the ball. We're trying to press. We are compressing on one side, putting McGinn on the pressure. I think it's McGinn number 7. And if you see here, you see Bruno chasing the ball, and we have Ugarte here. So for me, I think the distance between Bruno and Ugarte is too short, and he leaves a big gap behind him. And I think that was a problem a couple of times. And you even see Luke Shaw here pressing up high, being that second wide centre back, being the backup for the number 6. So again, I think it's okay to squeeze. I think it's okay to press when the trigger is there. But again, I think it's too risky the way we set up. And if you see here, we lose the ball, and suddenly they are running at us, and we only have 3 players in defense. And again, I talk about this, the transitional defense, and over and over again, we have a huge problem in defense, because we seem to create this gap so many times. So for me, I think this is something we have to improve. We have to fix it right now, and we can't keep playing like this. When I saw the first 10, 15 minutes, I thought, oh my God, this is going to end badly, because we are going to concede at least 4 goals, playing like this. It reminds me of the Bournemouth game, same tendencies. Did you see this too?
I did, but I saw Villa with very little clear-cut chances.
Yeah.
As badly as we played, and as woeful as Ugarte was out of position, and he was out of position on more than one occasion, that Villa didn't capitalise on that, which is good for us, because it could have been, bad news for us. We could have ended up on a 5-0 thrashing today, based on that alone. Ugarte doesn't quite know where to go. Does he follow Bruno around like a puppy? He doesn't need to. He still needs to, be more disciplined, and this is a big issue. But ultimately, we lost by 2 really good finishes. That's all we lost by, 2 really good finishes. And terrible by Yoro. But we only lost by...
but goals dictate games, and as I said, I think Villa were comfortable with us having possession. We didn't create much, through the full 90s. We are talking about 1.3 xG. That's not much,
we didn't create a lot. Like I say,
No.
they didn't create a lot. But ultimately, we there were parts of the game where we did okay. We played some decent stuff. Our intricate passing wasn't bad. Our short passing game was better than it's been for a long time. But ultimately, we've come away with it, with a 2-1 loss. But Villa are beating, decent teams at this point in time. So we don't give away a ton of chances, but we concede the few. This is the problem. The ones that we do give away, they score. I've got no issue with that.
And I have another clip I want to show you. This is also a little bit from the beginning of the game, and Ugarte, the problem I saw with him playing in the 6. So let me just bring it up here. So again, we can have a look, and if you look at Aston Villa, they sit in a mid block, very comfortable. They are creating the box midfield with these 4 guys, and they are not pressing. This is why I call it a mid block, because they are shadow pressing. They're just trying to block the passing lanes. You see here, the passing lane, for example, to Bruno is blocked by this player, and it's Rodgers, I believe, or is it Watkins? I don't know. But Ugarte, they give him a little bit of space, and I don't know why, but you see Ugarte sits in that box, and when you sit in the box, it's a problem, because the distance from every player here is they are within reach. And I think they are aware, and they are not picking up Ugarte. So if you play on the clip, when Ugarte receives the ball, it ends in him losing, and again Villa on transition, 5 against 3, and they created a really big chance. And again, we are way too high. Mason Mount, Bruno, Cunha, Sesko, all of them pushing up high, and we don't have the ability to play ourselves out through a mid block, just sitting there waiting for us to make mistakes. So again, it's a way of the play I don't rate, and also we are forcing young Aiden Heaven to be the playmaker, the central playmaker. I think a player like Luke Shaw should step up, come on the side of Heaven and demand the ball and be the guy who actually starts and producing these attacks.
The problem with that was Ugarte. The problem with that was Ugarte. If you go back to the very beginning, when Ugarte receives the ball, he turns into trouble. He walks into trouble instead of turning away from it.
Terrible first touch. As I say, you receive the ball inside. You should never receive the ball inside. You give yourself a lot of trouble.
It's abysmal because. And when he loses, it's Tielemans. Look, he's in so much space there. A little dink in, let the ball run across you and move out to the right. Don't start coming into the middle. It's just fucking. I can't believe.
But if you look at Ugarte's head, he's focused on finding Bruno.
I know, but that's naive football.
Yeah, it's naive football.
Elite footballer. It's naive. When the ball goes across, and like you said. Just let it fucking roll past your body. Look at the fucking space he's got to his right. Just let it roll past your body. Then we don't lose the ball then. You see, the issue there is player intelligence or lack of. And you're right, his touch is fucking abysmal. But just let it go across your body, and then you're running into space rather than running into. Actually, you're right, a clutch of 4 players there. It's like a Venus flytrap. As soon as you come in, bang, just turn fucking away. Unreal. It's just terrible. Tielemans wins the ball. Fucking Anana then, runs off with it, and away we get, and away they go. Yeah.
I mean, you see here the 5 against 3 running at us, and you have the poor back 3 just
backtracking,
as hard as they can. And I've seen this before. I saw this on the Ten Hag, the backtracking, the endless, relentless backtracking all the time. And I feel we are into this. I've been talking about this. I saw it against Bournemouth. I've been seeing it in a lot of games, and I think it's not only on Amorim, because it's okay to try to play the ball, not just hoof it long and direct. I think we need to try. We need to try for us to improve. But again, I think we lack the quality. With a player like Kobe Mainoo in that position, it would have been something else. Kobe Mainoo is stress resistant, he's intelligent, he knows how to do this thing, but not with Ugarte. Then the game plan should be, okay, F it, we have Ugarte. Don't try to play through the central, play it over.
Well, again, at one point, Heaven could have dinked Bruno in, let it drop just over his shoulder, because Bruno was okay. You just let it drop over his shoulder, make it turn, away you go. So there were 2 options. One for Ugarte and one for Bruno, but I'm not going to bite Heaven's lunch on that. So.
Yes, but on the positives, I have this clip. It's not all bad. We have the ability sometimes. We play ourselves out from the back, and let me just speed this up because I think it's a longer segment. The ball goes to. And you see, I think I like this because I see we can do it. We can play ourselves out from the back. We have the ability sometimes, so it's not all bad. And I think we just got to keep practicing to get better.
Yeah, we have. That was a nice passage of play. I don't like that particular way that we do that, but we got away with it. We got out of it quite nicely. I don't think we could. Did we create the Sesko chance from that? I can't quite remember.
We created no. It ended up with Ugarte trying to switch play, but it was a terrible pass, and it went over the byline to the goalkeeper. So,
surprise.
But again, there are some glimpses of positivities in between all the poor play. So, but it's a nice passage of play, I would say. Yeah, it
Yeah.
caught my eye. Um, so, do you want to go with the Cunha goal, or do you want to
Yeah.
go on the Bruno injury? Where do you want to go first?
Let's go Cunha. Let's put something decent in, because Villa were equally guilty of dicking about, weren't they?
Yeah. Okay, let me just see if I can find
But
it.
before we do that, we
Yeah.
have 5 memberships gifted.
Ooh,
21st Century Vampires gifted 5 memberships. Let's have a quick
big
look.
up your legend. Big up.
New legend. Yeah, let's have a look. Who's done that?
He deserves a
You do that, and I'll find out who he's gifted them to, because let's have a look, see if I can find them.
Thank you so much.
That's mate. No. Right, so we have mid-wicket manager, who has a membership, News and Dine. News and Dine, okay.
News and Dine.
Yeah, they've got a membership. Big Guapo 3000 also has a membership. A Red Devil Bishal. Danny B has got a gift membership.
Hey, Danny B.
So, 21st Century Vampire, you are a legend.
And you forgot Sebastian. Sebastian MUFC received a membership. Big up newly graduated Sebastian coming in with a Tactical Devils membership. No. You already have.
Sorry. He's already a member.
He's already a member.
Yeah, he was putting a message to you. So, yes.
By the way, guys, I created a poll. It says smash the like, and who was your man of the match? The nominees are Cunha, Heaven, Dorgu, and Lisandro Martinez. We only played one half, but I think he had a good cameo coming on, especially in the first part of the cameo when we were in possession. I think he controlled the game pretty well. So guys, get your votes in and tell us who was your man of the match, and we will go back to the poll at the end of the show and give our man of the match from you guys. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships. 21st Century Vampire. Now back to the goal. Let's see. I have it here, but where is it? Because I probably can't play. Yeah, I can do this. We can do this. Okay. So Villa, I think it's Matty Cash who's on the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, what did I do?
Cash with it.
Matty Cash is on the ball, and Dorgu, he comes pretty quick into press, and I like the way he presses. He's not overcommitting, but he's trying to block the passing line and not give Matty Cash any options to go direct. He wants to force Matty Cash to go inside. And Matty Cash don't want to do that because this guy is under pressure. So again, I think we trapped them pretty well. Dorgu wins the ball, gives it to Cunha, and Cunha smashes it into the goal.
Great finish.
It's a great finish, and Cunha now, I think he's starting to look at the player we saw last season.
He's starting to look good. He just hasn't got striking options with him at this point in time, and he's starting to look very, very influential in games.
Yes,
I like Cunha. Always have done. Brilliant player, but great finish, nice turn. 2 goals in 2 games. It's looking good for us.
Yeah. But I've been talking about this, I've been talking about the counter-attack defense, but also this is the counter-press. And I think the counter-press in this instance, if you go back a little bit, I want to bring out this one. And if you look at us and our players, you see here Cunha is in control of this guy. Dorgu is in control of Matty Cash. You see, I think it's Sesko covering the passing lane over to Lindelof, and we have Bruno here on is it Kamara, I believe, in the center. So our counter press is actually quite good here. We have the people in the right places, and we are creating this chance. It's not just on Dorgu; it's a team effort doing the right thing in the right place. And for me, you know, I got to commend this and our players actually going forward. And I forgot about this. I think it's Mason Mount on Onana. So there's no way out here for Matty Cash, and it's not a coincidence he's dealing around with the ball and at the end loses it.
Good finish as well. He did well there, Jordan. Great finish. Something Cunha does really well. He allows the ball to run. He doesn't touch it. He allows the ball to run, gets his position, bang. He had no chance with that. No chance, Martinez. No chance at all.
Yeah. Okay, so now over to the bad news. Bruno Fernandes. Hamstring injury. I saw Yale Malmin saying something about 6 to 9 weeks. I don't know. I haven't seen any updates on the injury. So if you guys have any reports from any credible journalists saying something about this, let us know, because I'm curious to know about the timeline of the injury. Well, you know, if it's a hamstring, it's usually 6 weeks in my mind, at least. You're back in training after maybe 4 to 5 weeks, but you can't start playing fully until, let's say, 6 to 7, 8 weeks, maybe 9.
It depends if it's torn.
Yeah, if it's a tear or just a...
If it's a tear, it's up to 12. No problem whatsoever. If it's a strain, it's still 6 to 8. Because a strain is at the tip of tearing. So it's 6 to 8 weeks. If he snapped it, his hamstring and the ligaments are flailing around like that, and it gets into a gristly ball, then it never heal correctly. So hopefully, I would imagine it's a strain and not a tear. But at least 6 to 8 weeks, and we're not going to see him probably now until at the end of January, by which time the African Cup of Nations will be done. So if we are doing anything in what you call it, then United Lens. It depends if there's, you know as well as I do, buddy. It depends, Mark, if there's swelling. If there's no swelling on it, they'll be able to all right and get an instant result. But if there's swelling on it, 2 days. So, but either way, it's he's going to be out 6 to 8. 100%.
What game was it? Was it the end of was it the Spurs game? At the end of the Spurs game, when Bruno was walking around holding his hamstring, and that's like 3 to 4 weeks ago. And I said it right away. I felt that Bruno was carrying an injury, and you know, I think you've seen it in his sprints. You know, he's not as explosive anymore. Always in second gear. You know, takes a little bit of while to get up into speed, and it tells me a little bit about that he's been carrying this injury for a while, and now his hamstring eventually gave up, you know, and as Stas is saying, Bruno doesn't have hamstrings. He gave up, and yeah, you are exactly saying what I'm thinking. So good comment there, Das. But you know, what will be the consequences, the result of this? How are we going to line up? Because now, you know, the report came out that Kobe Mainu is injured. At least for a couple of weeks. I don't know if I believe it, but that's the official reports.
Well, we're going to have to buy a midfielder anyway in January or get a loan. So we're going to have to do it. This might be good news actually, because it may just well have accelerated plans that they were planning to do.
Yeah,
in January anyway. So now it's a must. It was the Everton game, Mark. You're absolutely right. He swung, didn't he, wildly at that ball, missed it completely, and that's where it was the Everton game. I'm sure it was where he did it. And the interim period, Casemiro will come back. You can play Casemiro and Martinez, couldn't you? I suppose Casemiro is back. It was only one one game ban, wasn't it? It was 2 yellows, 5 yellow cards.
Casemiro is back. Yeah.
Only a game ban. So I'd imagine he'll probably go with Martinez. Or it'll be Ugarte and Casemiro. We're just going to have to live with Ugarte.
No, I don't want to play Ugarte. I think he's not good enough. I think it's clear he has his limitations. So I would rather go with Mason Mount. But then again, we lack a 10. But we saw the
Well,
young kids coming on, Fletcher and Lacey. I think they both did well.
yeah,
Lacey had a shot.
I mean, ultimately, Casemiro is going to come back in. We know that. Mount, if he plays as an 8, no problem.
Yeah.
I would just go with 2 up top.
Yeah. Play the 3-5-2.
Yeah, I would just go with 2 up top. I would play
4-4-2.
play Cunha and Sesko. You got to play Sesko. You got no choice. I would play Cunha up there. And then I would try and get Martinez in somewhere, like you say, take Yoro out the equation. But hopefully, we may get Maguire back. Who knows? That's what I would do anyway.
But this report came out today, and on Mainu, he's got an injury in the last training. After training, he went to the doctor, and he has something in his calf. We are going to assess, but he's out of this game. It isn't just bad for the team, but for him. This problem is a reminder that we need to focus on what we can control and leave the rest to destiny. He will be fine in a few weeks. This was coming out from Amorim. So I don't know if you believe this. Do you believe it's true? Do you think he has a problem with his calf, or is it Man United's way to solve a problem and keeping it in-house?
I don't know. I don't know if he's got a problem, if he hasn't got a problem. I don't know. The Kobe Mainu thing is becoming a distraction. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And you don't need a distraction. We're going through a period of look. If Kobe Mainu's fit, I'm pretty sure he plays. So I would probably lean on the side that he's picked up a calf injury. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think he plays normally. I think he plays. I think he started today, Kobe Mainu. I don't think it was Ugarte. I think Mainu started. If it is just a precaution, then yeah, I think he.
So you don't see it as a disciplinary action from the club?
No.
After the protest, because we had to have known about it. The T-shirts, and this is not how you behave. Staring at pots.
Amram came out and said when he was at Sporting, or was it Benfica, that his stepbrother or his brother did something that he didn't know about, something similar. And
yeah.
So I look, maybe, but I also read that Harry Amos had something to say, and so did Chido and Martin. They both had something to say as well. So yeah, you kind of brush that off. If that is the case, then the two of them need to grow up, start acting like footballers, playing for Manchester United, and not like children through social media. We don't need that. You don't need it. This is the modern day game. Now we're trying to destabilize everything. No, I think he's injured. He came on he played 38 minutes, 40 minutes, 35 minutes against Bournemouth when Casemiro came off. So I think he probably marked him to play today. So I would probably lean towards an injury.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
I want to share this one. It's just a short clip, and I talked a little bit about it in the preview when Martinez kicking it long from his goal. They would try to find Watkins, who would flick it on to Rodgers. And you talked about it. We expected Maguire to be back, and you said, let Maguire handle it. He will go out and knock it out. But we didn't give the responsibility to Aiden Heaven. We gave the responsibility to Ugarte.
Yes,
I saw it a couple of times, and and then again, I didn't like it because you see Watkins is so much better in the air than Ugarte, and they could have created more with this one, but luckily for us, it didn't happen this time. But again, I think it tells me a little bit about our preparations for the game. If I can sit down and analyze Villa in 1 hour, looking at clips and reading up about good evening, then surely the players have had the time to analyze Aston Villa. So why are we not prepared for a simple thing like this, a goal kick?
Again, I think that's reading the game, being able to read the game. we don't read the game well enough. The interesting thing though, Watkins was poor today anyway. I thought he was invisible. Nuruddin, top man. I thought
Thank
he
you,
was.
thank you. And
I thought he
welcome
was,
to the guys coming in from United Real Therapy, top
yes.
channel.
Yeah, I thought he was invisible. Watkins today didn't cause us any problems at all. Completely invisible. So from that point of view, fine. But you've got to be dominant. The dominant centre half has to do it. So Hayden Evans should have said to Ugarte, "No, I'll take care of it. That's my job. Step out the way. I'll do it." And we don't do that. We don't command our back three. Lamans isn't commanding our back three. We're not commanding our back three from a midfield point of view. Nobody's commanding everything or anything. I think he's got no choice but to go to back four against Newcastle, personally.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I don't think he's got any choice whatsoever. He's got to go to back four, and you've got to stabilise the defensive unit. I would play personally. I would play Casemiro and Martinez as your middle two and hold because Voltemada is going to cause you no end of problems. He's going to cause us no end of problems on. Not just use the one. I'll have a look at no end of problems on Friday night. So we've got to make provisions for Tonali. You've got to make provisions for Guimaraes. You got to make, there's a lot. Anthony Gordon. We can't play with three at the back against Newcastle. It will fucking kill us.
No.
So he needs to go to a 4-4-2, or he goes on or he plays a 4-1-4-1.
Yeah, almost like a 4-4-5-1.
Yeah.
We saw him playing the 4-4-1-4-1 formation today. Yeah,
he's got to do something different. So look, everybody's angry. Everybody's having their say in the chat, which is absolutely fine. But you've got to bear in mind what everybody's entitled to their opinion on here, and I'm not changing my opinion. However much you come at me, you guys tonight, I'm not changing my opinion.
No, it's not. But I don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. This is football.
I'm not changing my opinion.
Actually, there's no right or wrong answers when it comes to football. It's all opinionated. But I usually base my opinions on my experience and what I see, like as a former player and as a coach and following football for my whole life, and you do the same, Stu. So it is what it is. But this is a room where everybody can have their opinion, and if you hammer him out, if you Kobe Mainu out, if you whatever, that's okay.
Whatever anybody wants, I've got no issues with it. But my opinion on the game, the way I saw it tonight, I'm not upset. I wasn't upset against Bournemouth. I'm not upset again tonight. I don't think we played badly against Bournemouth, and I don't think we played badly. As much as Villa allowed us to play well, because Villa weren't great, I don't think we played badly.
Yeah, so you see Jamie Wayne is saying they literally allowed us to have the ball, and it was counter-attacking tactics. And yeah, I agree with that 100%. I saw that right away. I think they allowed us to have the ball because they know, Emery knows that we are weak in possession. And I showed you a couple of clips of how weak we are in possession.
But again, they didn't have any clear-cut chances there. The McGinn effort in the first half and the two Rodgers efforts, and that's it. And that was them allowing us to have the football, remember. So we kept them pinned back. I thought our wing backs kept their Matty Cash pinned back. I thought Dorgu did a really good job on Matty Cash. Kept him pinned back for most of the game. Dallo, I don't know. I couldn't work out. I was struggling with Dallo today. But ultimately, I thought we were
Dallo
okay.
wasn't too bad. I think Dallo was okay.
Like I say, I thought he was okay. But again, we pushed the game. We rolled the dice, and we came up short by two good strikes. What more? I don't know.
And by the way, people, when I say Dallo was half decent, this is coming from a place where I don't expect much when it comes to Dallo. If I see him do something half decent, I commend him, because I think he's not at the level needed for playing for Man United.
We've got a few players on at the level needed. So what we've gone today, bearing in mind, by the way, we've got no Ahmad. We've had no Mbumo today. We've had no Mazzari, no De Ligt, and no Maguire.
Yes.
And we've only come away, it's not disastrous. Today has not been disastrous by any stretch of the imagination. It really hasn't.
Ili Shaban, I think that's Lilis. Big up. I hope you're well, my friend.
Yes.
Coming in and say, people, I'm telling you now, Yoro is Maguire number 2. And this goalkeeper Lammens isn't good. No one's here in Belgium don't rate him. Okay. I think Lammens has been quite okay. I think he's stable. He's young. After experiences Onana for and by injury for a couple of seasons. I think Lammens is way ahead of both of them. So
He wasn't stopping those Rodgers efforts.
No, those are no.
Yeah,
you can't say
those.
Yeah, but he doesn't stand out like the wall. I think he's doing. Okay, so it's not Lilis. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. We know somebody called Lilis. Yeah. Jamie, we did analyse the first goal. We were more concerned about Luke Shaw allowing McGinn to turn. That's what, and then obviously after that we were more concerned about Yoro not pushing not pushing Rodgers into Rose Z, which is also an issue.
Stu, talking about Dalot, we mentioned Dalot, and let's have a look at Aston Villa's second goal. Rodgers coming in. This was the pictures from the telly. Rodgers coming in, Lenny Yoro a little bit weak, and he puts it in the top corner, curls it behind Lammens, and I don't think the goalkeeper has any chance when it comes to this.
Stop that.
I think the finish is a brilliant finish, but again, I think it's poor. It's poor from Lenny Yoro. Okay, you don't want to make it
too weak. Just fucking hell, do something. But it's even worse when the ball kind of comes back towards Rodgers.
He runs like this. I know he's afraid of making a penalty. We don't want to put his foot down, but at least get in contact with your body. You need to make contact quicker as a defender.
You've got to get across. Use your shoulder. You're entitled to shoulder. Use your shoulder. Go shoulder to shoulder.
But I think he's afraid because I think Rodgers is in a position now where when he gets the ball, he can cut right in front of Lenny Yoro. And I think this is why Lenny Yoro is reluctant to go into press. But again, we should never give him all this space inside of the box. It should be tight, marking him a little bit tighter.
There's where you hit him. There, just a little bit back. There's where you hit him. You move into him. You glide into him. You fucking knock him off his stride. That's all you got to do. Poor by Yoro. Really, really poor. Really poor.
Yeah, it is poor. But what I take from this goal is Dalot's defending.
Yes.
I think this is also, again, we see our players turning off and sleeping. And we need to be stronger in situations 1-against-1, especially when you're defending the wide areas. It's about being strong, being able to win your man-against-man battle. And we can't keep losing these 1-against-1 battles in certain areas like this. I'm used to seeing players like Dennis Irving, Patrick Evra, even Adam van Bissaka, being so strong 1-against-1. No one can pass them, in situations like this. And then we have players like Dalot, like Yoro, defending the wide areas and actually looking weak. They look weak. And for me, I think that's an issue. Letting McGinn, it's not prime Messi. It's McGinn.
See, you got McGinn actually in a really good area there, but you've got to force him over the touchline. That's what you've got to do. You've got to, force him, put your hand out and force him over the touchline. Don't allow him to turn left or don't allow him to turn right. Just give him a little nudge in the back. Give away a foul out there, Jarvis. You're going to hurt anyone.
Yeah. But again, why don't we make contact with the player? Why do we keep that yard of space
You shouldn't.
when they turn the wrong way?
Yeah, go in with your hand and push him.
Yes.
Take the free kick, no problem. Get
Make
yourself
contact,
lined up.
give
Yeah.
them a little push, get them out of balance. They will lose their technique, and then you have the chance to win the ball.
Yeah, you just do something. You affect a something, change of atmosphere, change of air, change of anything. But we don't do it.
Yeah, Dallow's sleeping. Yeah, he's sleeping. That's true. That's true. So if we look at the rest of this, McGinn, he makes a little shimmy right, left, and then turns Dallow around and just
terrible.
The ball comes in.
But again, I mean, there's zero danger at this point. Zero danger at this point. Again, I looked at the time. I thought, how the hell did we
look how many men we have here?
That's what I mean. Zero danger. Zero danger. Look where the ball is.
And we have how many? We have 1, 2 Villa attackers.
Villa players, yeah. But look where Rodgers is. Yoro's got no clue where Rodgers is. Mount can see him, but probably isn't communicating to Yoro.
Yeah, it's 100% this ball watching and
terrible.
He should know where his man is
all the time. Rule 101 is know where your man is. Always, you should know where your man is. Rodgers very clever there, but I bet even Rodgers wasn't expecting him. If you play it on, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, he's quicker in the head. He sees the situation.
He sees it unfold. Yeah,
split second before Lenny Yoro, he reacts and understands what's going to happen, and he knows, he trusts his pace, his acceleration, and he leaves the space in front of him. If the ball comes there, boom, I will be there.
He just doesn't. Yoro just doesn't react. It's twice he doesn't react. It's not good enough.
But it's a good finish, and I felt at that moment the game was over for us.
We were never getting back in. Well, actually, we should have got back in because Dorgu had a strike, didn't he, which was blocked.
We had the Cunha header.
Yeah, we had the Cunha header, yeah.
And I think the Cunha header could have gotten us back into the game, and I think that's a huge chance.
It's a ridiculous chance. I can't believe he missed it. To be honest,
it's almost like a penalty. I think if I check, probably the XG on this is more than 0.5. I bet it's more than
ridiculous miss. I just don't know what he was doing.
It's
such
all the time in the world.
Yeah, it's an easy header. He tries to go down. I appreciate it, because if you go across and then Martinez is going to catch it or save it, so he's got to go to Martinez's left. But it's an easy header to do.
Yeah, he tries to go for this area.
Yeah. That's the only way he was going to score. I can't believe he got it wrong. So wrong. Oh, terrible miss. Terrible.
It's the right technique. He's thinking the right thing, but it's all margins.
You're coming down on it like that, get it down, side of your head. But it's sometimes when you use this part of your head, the ball does spin away. But he shouldn't have missed it. Absolutely no chance. He shouldn't have missed it.
Yeah, I saw that go in. I was almost like, oh.
Well, it should have gone in.
Should have gone in. Yeah. So what are the chats saying? Elisha Ban says, I jump. I think it was a
I think it was
a goal. Yeah. Same.
We all did.
You can't miss them. It's true.
Right, Jamie.
Yeah. Raven Strip, big up. Why still discuss the issues Ruben need to go his tactics, his formation? These players don't want to play this formation. I think the group is still loyal. I think we have a couple of players like the young players that's not
I think
super happy, but I think the group is loyal. I think they understand. It's not Ruben. It's their quality. I don't know. it's a tough one. It's a tough one. But I'm willing to see Amorim out for the rest of the season now. Anyway, it's too late to bring in something. I think we still have a fair chance. If you look at the table, we are sitting. Let's say where are we now? If you look at the table, we're sitting 7th at the moment, 26 points. If you are looking at top 5, Liverpool is 5th with 29 points. So this starting to see a little gap on the top 5.
Yeah,
we have Newcastle coming up in the next game. It's not going to be easy now with the AFCONs and all the injuries, but I think now we are at the decisive moment of the season. It's either sink or swim.
Yeah, I mean, we got Newcastle. We're in Newcastle,
and we have Leeds coming up, and then
we've got Newcastle and Leeds, haven't we?
And Wolves.
Leeds are playing quite well at the minute. They won again, didn't they?
Leeds looks fantastic at the moment. Did you see the free kick?
Yeah.
Schultz, or what's his name? 4-1, 2 goals from
Calvert-Lewin scored twice. Yeah.
Yeah. And also I watched the Arsenal beating Everton 1-0, but I have to say I got to give credit to one player, and that's James Garner.
Yes,
he reminds me so much about Sander Berge's anticipation, how he sets the tempo of the game, keeps the ball ticking. And I think if we are any sensible in this January transfer window, especially now with injuries, I think we should try to go all in with James Garner before he signs a new contract with Everton, and we should just give him a call and say, Jimmy, come to us. Come to us. You will be a squad rotational player, but you will get minutes for Man United.
Jimmy G. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree. I think. Yeah, no, he was absolutely brilliant. So Newcastle are 11th on 23.
Yeah, Newcastle sits 11th, 23 points, only 3 points behind Man United. So if we lose now, everything is that close. We can actually end up and going down to 12 if we lose.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a late kickoff as well, isn't it? Isn't it about 8:15?
Yeah, it's a late one. Boxing Day.
Boxing Day, yeah. It's a late one.
But I think it's difficult times. Stu, we saw a couple of academy players coming on at the end of the game. What's your take on Shea Lacey and Jack Fletcher? Did they impress you? Did they look ready? Did you see anything?
Look, Lacey had a decent strike, didn't he? He put it down Martinez's throat. Look, Lacey didn't have enough time to impress me at all. I think he's a fabulous talent, though. He's a really, really good talent, and I think he'll do well for us if he gets more and more opportunities. Same with Jack Fletcher. I like him. I think he's got a really good touch, really good way about him. He's quite graceful. Jack Fletcher. I expect them to probably make the bench on Friday. I think they'll be on the bench, and I think it'll be quite interesting to see what happens. It'll be the thing about the thing about when you bring him on, when you don't bring him on, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's always a difficult one. As I said before, a couple of days ago, we put in Cheeto, didn't we? But the issue was it affected his game, and he's only just now starting to get his mojo back from the under 23s or under 21s, whatever it is. So just got to be careful with the likes of Lacey, careful with the likes of Fletcher. But it really is, our squad is thin at the moment. So hopefully we'll see a bit more of Lacey, probably at Old Trafford. He might be a bit happier there, but yeah, we'll just have to see on that one. But he did okay. He did all right.
I think Lacey is a massive talent, and also Jack Fletcher. I think Jack Fletcher a little bit more mature in the way he plays football. Yeah. But again, I see the youth, when it comes to Shea Lacey, I see him coming in on adrenaline, wanting to make a difference, and as I actually agree with Danny B. Lacey should have come on earlier, and it's a little bit cowardly from Amorim again. I don't know every ins and out when it comes to the academy. As I said the other day, I said I don't care if the academy wins or lose, but for me, it's about producing players for the first team. But Lacey has a future, and I think he's a good player, and hopefully we can see more from Shea Lacey. I think these youth players, sometimes you just gonna throw them on the deep end, see if they sink or swim, and a lot of them, they fly high on adrenaline, like let's say the first couple of months, and actually put in performances and doing well. So again, I don't try him now. We are squeezed into a corner when it comes to AFCON, when it comes to players injured, and I think it will give Amorim a little bit more leeway if he gives these youngsters a little bit more of a game time without feeling that they are entitled to a place in the team. But sometimes you play players. When you look at Newcastle, for example, Louis Smiley, how he took care of Garnacho against Chelsea, for Newcastle. Brilliant right back, and there are young players who can step up and actually do well if you give them the chance.
Yeah, the thing about Lewis Miley, he's only just come back into the fold. He's been out in and out the squad for a while now, for a good 12 months. He played a lot, and then he was kind of missing for a long time. We've got to be careful bringing Lacey through, bringing Fletcher through. It's the wrong team. It's the wrong players. That are not, these players can't help them. And so look, football's so fickle. Lacey puts one in the top corner today. Everybody's saying, well, you should have fucking played him weeks ago. Really? Why should you have played him weeks ago? Well, he stuck one in the top corner, and and so what? So he stuck one in the top corner. Doesn't mean you bring him on. Yeah. We've just got to be careful. If Lacey's as good as we think he is, and will be as good as we think he is, you've got to be careful with him, because this team right now isn't the right team to blood somebody like Lacey properly. So you've got to bring him on again. Bring him on against Newcastle. Play him 15 minutes against Newcastle. Give Fletcher 15, 20 minutes against Newcastle. It's one of those. You can't just say, right, let's bring him in, play him. He's a great player, from all accounts. But he had a bad injury, didn't he? He was out for a while with a bad injury, Lacey.
Yes.
So it's really
was it his knee? Was his knee? Was it like he was out for 6 months?
Sure. Or? 6 months. Yeah, I don't know if it was knee or was, but he had a point. But look, it's there. He's come on. He's made his debut for the club away at Aston Villa. It was a tight game as well. We could still have won that game. So I'm not really sure Amorim did like bottle on this. I think maybe there was a bit of courage in there. Don't forget, it was 2-1. The game ended 2-1, so he came on. So did Jack Fletcher at 2-1. Jack Fletcher, Seahawks. Jack Fletcher replaced Ugarte. Okay, no mean for Ugarte's Ugarte. So interesting.
Talking about Shea Lacey, let's have a look at his chance. It was Cunha carrying the ball all the way from the midfield up to the 18-yard box, going into trouble. Shea Lacey, he understood the situation, and it took a good shot, I think. But it shows me a little bit of courage, and this gets me off my seat, and this is what I want to see more of. Young players coming in, and this is Man United. I loved it when we struggled under David Moyes. The cameos we saw from, for example, Aiden Januzaj. It gave the season a little bit of extra spice. Something to look forward to. Look at Januzaj.
Yeah, I will point something out though. Cunha elected not to use him. It's worth noting that he didn't want to use him, because as he gets towards, it's not Cash, it's Lindelof. No, Lindelof's in the middle, isn't he?
No, Tielemans, I believe.
Tielemans is 8. Yeah, so Tielemans is running with him, but watch Lacey and watch the way that Cunha keeps running.
He needs actually the position is not good enough. He needs to be here. And stretch the defender. This guy, he wants him more out, because then he opens up this gap for Cunha, the road, and he will make this defender make a choice and eventually go to Cunha, and then Cunha can release the ball. It's all about timing, you know. It's
But he
not
could
as
have,
simple as, but his
yeah.
position is not good. It's not a good position
It's
from
not a
mid.
great position, but Cunha could have played him. I don't know, it's probably about 2-3 seconds further on in the clip. No, he could have played him a little bit there, but look, I thought he picked it up well, decided what he wanted to do, and then bang, away he went. So it's a great effort. Good effort.
But the thing is, he didn't hesitate, and this is what I like. You know, this is what you get from young players coming in and getting their chance. You know, they want to make the most of it. They don't hesitate. He's determined. Okay, I want to create a chance. I want to try to score a goal. You know, it's a good effort. Good effort.
Yeah. Look, he had a strike, which is the main thing. You know, and he's come on away at Villa Park and he's had a strike. So be interesting to see what he does. I mean, it'll all be. I mean, Friday night's going to be quite pivotal, isn't it? So what he does, we'll know more about Bruno tomorrow. You know, so we'll know where he is. If he's out for 4 weeks, we still got to do something in January. I just think it accelerates our plan. Come the 1st of January, we might have 1 or 2 new players in. Big up. Might have 1 or 2 new players in, and then we'll see where we go from there. But at the moment, we can only do what we've got.
That's the issue. That's the issue. So I think, Stu, I think we covered all the main topics of the night, the game.
Yeah.
We can analyze more details, but you know, I don't want to go too late. We are 1 hour 30 minutes into the show. We talked about the academy players, Mainu. The only thing we didn't mention was Martinez and his little cameo as the number 6.
Yes.
So tell me your thoughts when it comes to Martinez before we wrap up the show.
Well, I've always thought he could play there. I said it 2 years ago, and got accused of knowing fuck all about football, which happens, and they might be right. But I've always thought he could play there. I've always thought people were saying he hasn't got the discipline, the pace, or whatever, but he doesn't need it. You don't need pace. You just need discipline. I thought his passing was good. His tackling was good. His positional play was okay. It wasn't anywhere near as what it should be for a top level centre midfield. But ultimately, he made a bit of a difference. And the good thing about Martinez is this: when Ugarte wanted to make the changes, Martinez could go into the back. They've actually got 2 areas on the pitch where he can do a job for us, which is why he would be a brilliant left wing back for us as well. Doesn't need pace. It's brain. Martinez functions on brain. And so I thought his little cameo was pretty good today. I was quite pleased to see it. And we had no choice, by the way. We had no option. There was no other option.
No.
Then you had to do it. So, you know, pretty pleased that it happened. But does he play there against the likes of Tonali, likes of Guimaraes and Joe Linton? Wow, big decision that is for Amorim. I mean, that is a scary threesome, as we know. And it's a big decision that is for Amorim, what he does in the middle of the park, which is why I think he's better going with a back 4.
And you know, I think the former Everton player, the guy, what's his name?
Anthony Gordon.
I think he will be a hand. Gordon, he looks incredible right now.
Voltemada.
Yeah.
You see his goals. You see Voltemada.
Voldemessi, as they called him.
Yeah.
Voldemessi.
Well, I called him. What's his Volta Vuller, because I'm sure
Rudy Vuller.
It's Rudy Vuller's son. He's got to be. His goal, his little deft touch against Chelsea, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, brilliant finish. So we're going to have problems with Newcastle, absolutely. The good thing is they're not great at the back.
No.
Pope's injured. So is it Ramsdale between the sticks at the minute for them?
It's Ramsdale, yes. It's Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Ramsdale,
so I think we can get at them at the back, but I easily think we could concede. Tonali is just he's fucking brilliant. Tonali is brilliant. So is Guimaraes. And Joe Linton's half decent. You know, interesting. It's going to be I'm not looking forward to Although I haven't told the other half yet that there's a there's a game on Boxing Day yet, so I don't know what she's going to react like. But anyway,
Yeah. Guys, before we wrap it up, I want to thank DJ Superfly guy. Lovely comment. He says, "Hit the likes, guys. As you see, we don't all agree, but we all have this community."
right. It's not what
Yes.
I have to agree. You don't have to agree.
Thank you so much.
I like it when you guys challenge me, Jarvis. It's what the show's about. I do like it, but I'm also very stubborn, guys, as you well know.
You hammer him.
Yeah, well, yeah, I am stubborn, and you know, the best thing about
it comes with the territory being an old grumpy man. You know,
it does. Look, the best thing about football is there's 124 people plus me and Jarvis. That's 126 people talking about the game, right? And we all see it differently. And that's brilliant. That's what it should be. No, it's 6 goals in a week. Which no, it isn't. It isn't acceptable, Jamie, at all. And I agree with that. I totally agree. I've got no problem. I am Trev stubborn. Yeah, I've got no issues with that, and it isn't acceptable. No, and anyone that says it is, I would take them to task on that. But we are in a position at the moment where we've gone away to an informed team. I'm not going to say a good team. I'm just going to say an informed team.
Yeah.
And we've done okay today. We've done okay. All right. We've done all right.
Okay. Stu, I just want to show this quick clip of Martinez before we wrap up, because I think, you know, his reading of the game is always good.
In the strike.
Yeah. You know, first of all, he wins the ball. He anticipates where the ball is landing. You see Martinez here. Right beside Cunha on the ball. So this is Martinez. If you play this on, Cunha steals the ball from Martinez. Martinez, he wanted to take the shot. You could clearly see him. You know, he's waving his arms. He was a little bit frustrated. I think it's Mason Mount who tries to curl it in with the outside of his foot, and the ball goes out again. And then you see the best thing from Martinez, his bravery when it comes to winning the ball and reading of the game. You know, you see here he comes up in position and wins the ball. You know, this is brilliant. Number 6 defending, reading the game. You know, you don't have to be spectacular. It's just about reading and anticipating and knowing where to stand. Put your body. You don't have to launch in with a sliding tackle or do anything. You know, you don't want to get overhit or overrun. You just want to stop the defender and the attacker and win the ball. And you know, eventually it ends up with Martinez taking the shot. So again, you know, I have to commend Martinez. Gives him a little bit of credit. I really enjoyed his little cameo when he came on in the number 6.
So did I. Yeah, no. I thought that was a nice piece of play. I thought he did all right. It was nice to see him. He wants to get that fucking hair sorted out, mind you. But apart from that,
he's Argentinian. You know, his role model is Mario Kempes, and
he's not
the
quite
old Maradona with his curly hair, and you know,
he's not quite Kempes yet, but give him time.
Give him time, Stu. Guys, I will redirect after the show ends to Rich. He's still going live, so jump over to Richard's channel and give him a Tactical Devils raid. That will be lovely if you can do that. You know, we want to help our friends like Rich. You know, he's creating a lovely community, and you guys can also be a part of his community. So. And I want to thank 21st Century Vampire for gifting 5 Tactical Devils membership. You're a legend. You're a legend. And we also have had the question from Trevor Wade. It's about menu. I think we answer it. You know, it's about cover up.
Yes.
So I hope we answered your question, Trevor. And I want to thank Jamie, Dave, Ravenstrip, Trevor, all of you legends, for DJ Superfly. All of you legends for United Lens, Mark, and Danny B. All of you for contributing with your opinions and comments. Das, so 007 and all of you guys, Boxing Straight Talk. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And Stu and I will be back with a preview for the Newcastle game, and I'm not sure when. Are we doing we will do the Jarvis's Corner tomorrow night.
We'll do Jarvis's Corner because then we're going to be the Newcastle games on Friday, so Christmas Day. I've got no hope on Christmas Day, like zero.
No. Well, at least we will be back tomorrow night, 9 p.m.
Yeah,
so guys, keep an eye out for the Tactical Devils and the Jarvis's Corner. Mark will be on. Hopefully, Noradin will join us. We will do a panel show and talk more about this game and where do we move from here. So, guys, girls, thank you everybody. It's been a great show, and hopefully we will see you on the next. And don't forget, write Tactical Devils raid in Rich's
yes, please. Yes.
So see you guys on the next one. Have a good one, and bye.
Hey guys.